I'm ready to rock and roll. You ready to rock and roll?
Yep.
All right. Got the bat signal out already. We're all good. In 5. And actually, it's a larger countdown. Yeah, fuck that. I don't feel like doing that. In 5, 4, 3.
It's time for BGFG.
Gonads are useful for their purpose, but they are no substitute for brains.
All right, here we go.
I have to say, well done. Great. Well done. Well played, my adversary. Well played.
Phoenix isn't gay, but if he was, he'd pick FreeMo.
Oh yeah, he'd be living down there with you in the bunker, man. Woo!
Once you go free, you always do the Z.
Like one day I'm not going to Duncan, and you could get a controller, a new Xbox, possibly even a cord.
And now, the two guys that took 2 years to fix their audio problems.
Welcome to BGFG, episode 359. I'm your host, Chris Fenix, and joining me, as always, my brother from another mother, Mr. FreeMo. How are you doing this week, sir?
Doing better. So you said episode 359. I'm looking at notes for 358.
No, you weren't. You were in 359 earlier.
So it's 358 on my screen.
Oh, well, you get the wrong show. You were in the right show.
Folks, y'all are in for a fun time.
And that's funny because the title of this week's show is Everything's New Again. Because there's a lot of flashback stuff this week. So I figured we'd go back a little bit, and then for what it's worth, the last segment of the day, I figured for what it's worth, we'll go back old school and we'll just nothing planned, just hey, here's some shit. Which is the way we used to do the whole show all the time. And it was really bad.
Yeah, y'all are about to get a flashback to some early FreeMo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where he guesses.
I don't see it,
nice.
man.
I put you on it. You were on it. You were in it earlier.
No, I was in 358. Did you just change the name?
I might have changed the name. I added the title.
What's your lead news story?
The bus is back.
Nope.
You were on it. You were on it. Don't give me that bullshit.
I'm in Google Docs right now. I'm looking at my
This is great.
Gmail. I don't
This is
see a link.
No,
What'd you send it to?
I'm going to start. I sent the same fucking email address I have for 15 years.
Which you never get right.
I did bullshit. I'm going into this week's news, and I'm going to see how you fare.
BGFG News. You heard it here.
Oh my god, this is going to be fucking great.
Yeah. And I can't type worth a crap right now. So it's not like I can stealthily get in here when you give me a couple of keywords. All right, let's do this.
This is great. This is gold. That's what this is. This is gold.
Are we gonna talk about Apple's announcements they made on March 8th?
Yes, we can. So everything's coming back to fruition lately, and we'll get to the Apple stuff. But the first thing I wanted to bring back
I was just trying to get back on the previous show notes, but continue, sir.
So the VW bus is back, which I'm kind of excited about.
Yeah, it's
because
gonna be all electric.
Yeah, which is going to be very cool. It's been 75 years since they did this.
Yeah, I talked with. I was actually at the dealership this week.
No.
Getting the
Oh,
car
that's
from,
right, 'cause you
our
would have
VW serviced.
Yeah.
And talked about it. So I'm all over it.
It's definitely cool. It's going to be all EV. How many Beetles have you owned? I feel like you and I we've never had this conversation, but I'm figuring it's the same amount as me.
0.
No.
Yeah, I've never owned a VW Beetle. I've never had one titled in my name. Put it that way.
Oh God, never titled in your name. That is so shady right there. That's. I had 3 Beetles. Love them. You can pretty much, as long as you can get the chassis right and the chassis solid, you can do pretty much anything you want with those things for short money. $1,500 gets you a 200 horsepower engine. $1,500 gets you a whole new interior. Roughly about $1,500 can get you all new fenders, front and back. So it's really a fun car. It's super light. We carried one once. The heater sucks.
And acetylene.
Yeah.
And some tubular steel, and you got a dune buggy.
Yep. Exactly. You can do a lot of things with that.
Had one of them.
Was that fun? I never drove one.
Oh yeah. I mean, basically think your Beetle with no body panels on it.
That already sounds fun, like a go-kart.
Yeah, I mean, it's just 2 seats. The engine's right behind you.
Yeah.
You know,
It's the
modified
only
gas
car.
tank in between you and the engine. Everything's open.
That's cool.
You know, you got a roll cage and just go to town.
Out
a
of
lot of fun.
out of 26 cars I've owned, that is the only car that I ever had that I could actually floor right to the boards all the time. Like it had no power. So I
Yeah.
could be at a red light and just floor it and just go like normal people. It was great. So the new name of the bus is going to be the ID Buzz, which I think is a kind of a stupid name. It's going to be released later this year in the UK, and the US is going to be about 2024 or so. I would assume they got to pass all sorts of other emissions and bullshit. The UK is
Yeah,
going
they
to
got
have
to
more.
figure out another way to hide their. Oh wait, no, they don't have to worry about their emissions.
No, it's
hacking.
electric.
It's
Yeah.
EV.
Yep. There's going to be more options than the US for the UK models because they have different criteria, they have different sizes, they have a bunch of different things. They're going to have, I think, some cooler models, but we're going to have like the 3-row seats as opposed to other people. We're going to have the California camper option for sure, which I think is really going to be cool. No pricing's released yet, but expect it to be somewhere around $40K. That's what I would say for a base model. And speaking of the cars, and speaking of the cars coming back, DeLorean's coming back too. Didn't see that coming. Yeah. No, I didn't see that coming at all. But yeah, they're going to do an EV. So it's pretty interesting. I mean, they're going to make an EV DeLorean. I mean, let the jokes just start now. What's it going to run on? 88, 1.21 gigawatts?
Yeah, 220, 221, whatever it takes.
Does it only go to 88? It's just so many jokes. You're missing an opportunity if you don't install what the hell's that thing? Shit. What was that thing that was
on the back of it?
Oh, the blender would be funny, but no, the shit free. The thing that goes right behind this, the flux capacitor. Thank you. I totally just blanked out. But it's hard to tell what they're selling because they have about 6,000 of the original 9,000 are still on the road, and this company will service them out of San Antonio. But it's hard to tell what they're selling because, like, not the brochure, but one of the announcements, they showed a concept car, and then you kind of see another car, and again, it could be a concept, it could be a really good concept, but they're looking at redoing it and everything. I don't know about that. I would just take the ones that you have and convert them or buy them back and rebuild them. I don't know if this is something you could put on the market. Like, hey, the all new Elantra.
Yeah, but at the same time, trying to retrofit one to EV would have its own nightmares.
That car was a nightmare to begin with. I don't know if I want electric.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't other than the cosmetic appearance. There was really not a lot that was good about that car.
Oh gosh, the
electric
was awful. Yeah, the electric was awful. There was a lot of issues.
Engine issues, drivetrain issues,
fire issues.
it just and it's kind of weird because if you look at the career of DeLorean coming up through the automotive industry and some of the
Mhm.
things he was associated with, some of the projects and different whatnot, it's surprising that he wasn't able to put together something that had better performance.
Right.
Quite honestly,
Did he work for Dodge? I think he worked for Chrysler Dodge for
he
some
worked
time.
for several different ones. I mean, he was actually at one point was in with the special projects team for Pontiac
Jeez.
when they were making their go straight, go fast cars. I mean,
Yeah.
so it just like I said, just looking at his career, it just was very
Strange.
yeah. If you'd have picked 3 or 4 people and said, okay, out of all these guys, which ones do you think would
John
be
DeLorean,
successful?
Lee Iacocca.
Yeah, I mean, don't know that I would have necessarily picked Hennessy back in the day over
Yeah.
DeLorean, but obviously, he did something right.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a nice thing. I'd like to see it come forward a little bit more, but there's just it's just tough. It's more of a nostalgia piece. I mean, the truck from Back to the Future not too long ago went for like $100,000, a replica truck of Michael J. Fox's pickup truck. It's like, come on, man, that's kind of fucking stupid. But it's not just about cars either.
Because those
Software's
Toyotas were a dime a dozen.
software's making a comeback too. Did you see that
Oh, yeah?
LimeWire is going to be making a return? Fucking LimeWire, dude.
Is it coming bundled with BearShare?
Well, it started with Napster and ended with LimeWire in 2010. BearShare was in between there. There's a bunch of those peer-to-peer networks.
And not only that, but it comes with all you can download Trojans.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. If you want to affect your computer, download LimeWire because that's where it's
Jeez.
at. It really is. It was used for pirating music. You could say whatever you want. I get it, the peer-to-peer. FreeMo and I used to do FTP back and forth to each other's computers to share show stuff. But
cut
this
out
was
the
on a whole
middleman.
nother level. But it was abused like immediately, just with music. And I remember going to people's homes and they would tell me that their computers all messed up, and I would open up their task manager and Napster would be going, or LimeWire would be going, and I pull that up and there's like 50 of the same songs. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just trying to make sure that I get that song. I'm like, really? Because this one that says it's 2K probably isn't that song. And the other 15 that you have that quit on you is because they stopped seeding it. So that one that you got, why don't you just hold on to that one and just call it a day? Like, you had to educate people how to do it because it was just, it would literally clog up the lanes of the internet, people. It would just, with everybody doing it, it was just crazy. And now they're coming back, and the new owners want to leverage the name into something else. And you know what they chose? Friggin' NFTs, free. NFTs. A gigantic waste of money. So they should.
What that is that someone decided to try and spread money laundering around to so many individuals that it's impossible to track. That's all that is. They're like, yeah, we'll get all these people back on LimeWire.
That is 100% true. So, Fremont, I'll tell you right now that expect to be LimeWire back to pirating within 5 months of it being relaunched. It'll be right back to pirating stuff. And then shortly after that, they'll be sued out of existence again. But keep going with those NFTs because they're super worthwhile. They just work so great.
You know,
Garbage. What?
BitTorrent that came along after the peer-to-peer,
Yeah.
that just kind of faded away.
I think that.
I mean, I know they're still out there. There's still groups that use that exclusively and stuff.
Well, that's what I was going to say. A lot of businesses still use torrents to move large amounts of files, which is smart. I mean, if you were going to like your job to another sister site, I mean, that'd be the best way to move large files, I think. But at the same time, is it any better than a peer-to-peer or a FTP? You tell me. Everything okay?
Well, you asked me a question, and I've got like 16 different technical things bouncing around in my head.
Yeah, you do.
it's gonna depend on what you're doing with it and what you're wanting to do with it. Honestly, I mean, a straight FTP is great if both parties have the bandwidth open at the time.
Yeah.
If the downloader has bandwidth but the uploader doesn't, then that's where your BitTorrent is beneficial because you're grabbing from multiple sources and utilizing your bandwidth that way. So it just depends on what you're doing. I mean, if in reality you look at stuff like Dropbox and Microsoft's OneDrive, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of it's a hybrid of FTP and BitTorrent.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just built in behind the scenes. And Microsoft Windows updates they've slipped in behind the scenes a massive BitTorrent network for their update system.
And
I think I told you about that once. You need to go in on any of your Windows 10 machines, and buried in the settings, there's a thing under advanced settings for Windows updates. You go in, it's a little toggle off or on.
Yeah.
It's basically, if it's on, it's saying, yeah, I'm available to push updates to other people.
Well, they're constantly. Well, you know what? I have a big problem with a lot of their update bullshit. A lot of it, like the fact that you got to log in to a Microsoft network, and I get it. You want to be like Apple, but again, at least Apple didn't force this on everybody. You know what I mean? Like Apple, you can still start the computer without putting in your ID. Microsoft, you can't, even with the new Pro version. And now they're bringing back Movie Maker, which is like, I mean, it's not Movie Maker. It's called Clipchamp or Chimp. But again, it's like they're never shy about taking your money. You know, they charge $10 a month for Microsoft 365 Family, which is a fucking waste of money for everybody. And now you're going to have Clipchamp or Chimp, whatever the fuck it is. And it's supposed to be a free version. That free version only kicks out video in 480p, and that's it. Just 480p. It's garbage. And if you want to export anything else other than 480, there's different tiers, as they always do, which is $9 to $40.
This is the only thing that you'll watch 480p on that'll look decent.
Is your phone. Right.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, to round out the whole tech stuff in news with, I think it's safe to say that Macintosh is back. Apple's back, baby. Whether you like it or not, free. Their announcement the other day was phenomenal, yet again.
Which one?
Well, the iPad wasn't that great, and the phone coming out in green wasn't super. And even their monitor, which I'll probably end up getting because I have their 10-year-old one. That's awesome. But where I think it's really at is the Studio. The new Studio computer. Macintosh Studio. It's like a Mac Mini, which what?
So basically, they've come full circle. They're now going to put out a really good product for very specific applications.
No. I knew you were going to do this. No. This is
this
a computer.
wouldn't be the go-to product for like graphic design, stuff like that.
It would be.
Huh.
Oh, God.
Rewind.
Yeah, what?
Apple IIe.
2E.
Design for.
Look, you can't. No, you can keep that up.
Full circle.
But, the new M1 chip is phenomenal. I do all the production, the post-production upstairs on that M1 Mac, and now this is the M1. They added another SKU to the M1 family, and this one's the M1 Max, and they're gonna have the M1 Ultra, just like i3, i5, i7, i9, Ryzen.
So you're going to use
3,
it for your
5.
online gaming, right?
I'm going to use what?
You're going to use that for your online gaming, right?
Oh, see, I knew you were going to get to that eventually, but you just couldn't wait, could you? No, you can't game on it right now. Well, I mean, you can game on it, but there's no, what's the word I'm looking for? Not natural, but there's no AAA titles that are written for this yet. But like I've said before, bro, matter of time.
Can't you just put Steam on it?
Yes, and there's some Macintosh games for Steam. Yep, and you can do that too. Right, but you're only going to get like a 1080, 720 to 1080 on it because it's not native. You want a AAA game that's native for that platform.
So what you're saying is it'll kick ass for like graphic design, video editing,
you can't see what finger I'm
shit like that.
Yes, Free. It's going to be phenomenal for shit like that. But I don't care what you say. When you talk about the amount of cores that's in this GPU, as soon as they make a native, you know what?
Denial ain't just a river in Egypt, Curly.
I hate you so much. They're way ahead of everybody else in the industry, and you can't deny that.
I'm not saying that they aren't. That's not what I'm saying.
What do you?
I'm saying that they have once again designed themselves into a corner.
No, how?
You just said it. You can't game worth a crap on it.
Well, it's not designed for gaming right now. They'll eventually get to that. They got one more model. This is my prediction. My prediction right now, Chris Fink is making a prediction on BGFG that once they finish their last step right now is the iMac and the Mac Pro. Once they finish putting the M chips in those two and turning the entire line over and no more Intel, I think then they're going to turn their head to gaming because now the computers are just running so good. Their M1 Max runs neck and neck with an i9 with a 3080 in it. Neck and neck on all processors except for gaming. On gaming, that combination i9 3080 at 1440 is getting 190 frames a second. Right now, you're going to get like 40 or 50 on a Mac. It's not there yet because it's not designed for that. As soon as they turn their head and design for it, I'll be the first one to say, Free, you're right. They can't game for shit on a Mac right now. You can't. But that's going to go away in the next couple of years.
Okay. Hope your prediction comes true.
I hope it does too, you shit ass.
No, I'd like to see you get one right.
Oh. That's great. What an asshat. All right, so
Anyway, back real quick.
Yeah.
Go to Windows Updates,
Yeah.
Advanced Options,
Mhm.
and then Delivery Optimization, which is kind of hidden down at the bottom right next to Privacy Settings.
Yeah.
If you look in there, you'll see where it says
FreeMo's a douchebag.
allow downloads from other PCs on or off.
Okay.
And then
Oh, I
there's-
see.
And then there's two settings under that for just on your network or outside if you're connected to the internet. So if you have that turned on and you have the radio button for local
Yeah.
network and internet turned on,
Yeah.
you're part of a bot network pushing out Windows updates.
Right. That's interesting because wasn't it not too long ago where some of the developers said that it would take up to 8 hours to download an update? I wonder if
Yeah.
that's if you turn that optimization off and they just never mentioned it. Because if you're in a building like yours or mine and you're doing the updates, it's gonna work on a peer-to-peer level, like you said, with everything else in the building. So
Yeah.
if you're doing a mass update, it's going to utilize all of those resources. Whereas if you have that turned off, it could take a while.
Well, and that's we actually stumbled across this. They did not advertise that this was on there. We stumbled across it at work because our network got bogged down like really bad at one point, like
Really?
company wide. It wasn't one site, and it's because we had started putting Windows 10 on everything.
Yeah.
That particular year, we were
Wait, say that
migrate to
again.
Windows
Say that
10.
again, because I love that, because our businesses take fucking forever to upgrade. And I get it,
Oh, yeah.
but sometimes, like, the jump to Windows 10 was a no-brainer. It's like, okay, let's just go to 10. It wasn't that big of a deal. Not like 11.
Yeah, but basically
everything
our
down.
network just started dragging like
Ooh.
all the time, and we start going out there and looking, and we realize, something's going on with Windows. And we're like, well, no, we've got everybody on the latest update.
Yeah.
And we dig into it a little bit more, and we figure out, oh, well, yeah, we have everybody on the latest update, and everybody else in the world trying to grab that update's coming to us. Turned that switch off, pushed it out with group policy.
Yep.
Everybody, forced an update. Everybody started getting that update, and network usage you could watch it coming down.
That's good. That's really
Yeah.
good. Nice catch, Free. All right, so let's get into this week's music. I found a little something. a band out of Boston. Been around a couple of years now, maybe 5, 6, 7 years. Name of
We're
the
not
band.
talking about Boston.
No, just another band. It's called the Dead Poet Society. Kind of like the movie.
The name of the song, Captain, My Captain.
No, I thought that was a missed opportunity. I'm really hoping I sift through some of their albums and find that. I agree with you. That would have been a hell of a track.
or Ethan Hawke's Last Good Roll.
Oh, that was well done. I like that. This one's called In Too Deep, and we'll catch you on the other side for some gaming news, and then we're going to really let our hair down and just kind of I'm not super excited about that ending. It's just never good. All right, we'll catch you on the other side for games and for what it's worth.
That one was painful.
So what do you think, Free? Dead Poets.
I like it.
Yeah, not too bad. I thought at first I was listening and I'm like, oh, this is another whiny song. And then like it kind of kicked in and I'm like, it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
We'll have to check out some more of their stuff.
Yeah, I listened to another track and it seemed pretty good. So that might be a regular over here. So let's get into this week's games.
Gaming.
So everybody in the past few months has been making huge acquisitions. The GPU story, I think, is kind of over right now. And the reason why is because, we have a Midway baby sighting. Look at that guy.
Tell him what you think.
Hey. Everybody's a critic.
He just woke up.
Yeah, he's confused. Like, why is everything so bright? Get all that snow.
No, it's just he's learned to blow raspberries, so that's like his favorite thing right now. I'll tell him to tell his Mimi or tell his mama, just tell him what you think, and he'll look at him and blow him a raspberry.
That's good stuff. That's what our jobs are. Because we're going to send you back with your parents learning new tricks. Being a wrestling fan, I was telling my daughter the other day, I was like, yeah, don't be surprised when Daphne comes home. He says, do you smell what Daphne's cooking?
Or drops an atomic elbow on you.
Right. Know your role, Mom, and shut your mouth. So everybody in the past few months have been making, yes, beer choices. I went tonight with a Modelo.
Hold on.
Kind of like in
Is
the
that
Modelo.
the Negro? No, that's the
No,
Especial.
they didn't have it. The place I stopped at on the way home didn't have the Negro. Yeah, but I am going to try that.
It's good. I mean, it's a dark beer, but it's not super heavy like a Beck's Dark.
Yeah, Beck's Dark was, oof.
Very heavy.
I didn't like that. All right, so let's get into the gaming. So the GPU shortage, I think, is still there, but it's kind of over. NVIDIA's starting to talk about their 40 series. I've seen some at the store, usually pre-order, but we do have some shitty, like, cranky, nasty, old, tiny ones in the bottom of the shelf that just came in. So there is some, just maybe not the big ones.
Yeah.
But what's surprising me is all the different acquisitions, like what Microsoft made. Then Sony with the Hold My Beer. I'm going to buy the company that's got one game. Great job, Sony.
Yeah.
Atari's buying a company too, though. Or at least the company that holds the rights to Atari name is buying it. They spent $1.5 million. Right? It's called, what is it called? Moby Chip? No. What the now I'm going to pull it up because I just completely blanked. Moby Games.
Well, see, this is where if I had the notes, the current notes, I could help.
Moby Games. They make it's a repository for like retro games, like that you would have on the old system. Downloads it downloads it legally, or you can get a link to purchase the hard copy of it. You should check out the site. It's pretty interesting. I found some old wrestling games that I think I'll be picking up for my little collection. Some of the classic ones. I think that's cool. Atari buying it though, free. I mean, I don't know where they're getting this money. Their Atari rebrand went from vaporware to launch, and when it finally launched, which it did last year, maybe the year before, that you and I talked about it. That was a pretty impressive unit. Not only do you get all the Atari games, but it's pretty
Still
much
don't know anybody that bought one.
Right. I haven't even seen one in the wild. It's just the price. I mean, if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I'm going to buy a PlayStation or an Xbox. I'm not going to buy an Atari. Now, if you're a huge retro gamer,
let me jump on the dark web real quick and do a little tracing.
What?
Atari.
What are you
AOL.
tracing?
Okay, yeah, they're connected.
Oh, jeez. Are they really? Or are you speculating? Yeah. This is why people shouldn't take our shit seriously. Because that was very convincing. Because it's perfectly feasible that AOL could own Atari. I mean, AOL I don't get them at all.
AOL could own Facebook. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. just comes out of the blue. By the way, we partially own Facebook. Oh God,
in China, and I mean,
don't say that. I just had a.
but yeah, they bought
Facebook and
Moby
AOL
Games.
merge. No. Facebook and AOL merge. How destroying would that be? That would be epically bad. Now all old people can have all their shit in one place.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry.
According to this, Moby Games is a repository for games going back as far as the 1950s.
Oh wow, what games? What games do they have in 1950s?
You mean there's something before Pong?
Yeah, wasn't that like 72, 71?
Well, they've piqued my interest. So after we get off here, I'm going to be seeing
them
what
out.
all they purchased for 1.5 million.
Well, like I said, I was buzzing around there, and like I'm into wrestling, so the wrestling games, they had a lot of games that I haven't seen in a while, like Dreamcast ones. I've never been able to get my hands on that for my Dreamcast.
Yeah.
So there's just, it piques my interest, but the thing that bothers me, and I think you would agree, is that I really want the Atari to come down in price so I can buy one. I cannot justify the price they're asking. I think it's 500. Because
not for what it is. I mean,
but it is a lot. That's the thing that really kills me is that you got all the Atari games, all of them. You have the retro controller or a regular controller. It's Bluetooth. You can load Windows or Linux on it. Load Linux. You can load Linux on it. You can load Steam on it. There's so many things it can do.
Yes, there's so many things it can do. What can you play on it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You could do Game Pass.
That's
you
what
could
it comes
do Steam.
down to, though.
But that's what you can do. It's just the hardware. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you keep throwing Steam out there like that's the be all to end all.
On PC, I think it is.
Did you see where they did just this past week? Someone pulled their game from Steam or their catalog.
Who pulled their whole catalog?
Can't believe you didn't see that. I'm pretty sure it was in the show notes I was looking at.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Steam Deck. So yeah, if you play Destiny 2 on a Steam Deck, if you port it in on a Steam Deck, you will get
playing it.
You're not only not playing it, but you just got banned from the game as a whole. Which could be multiple platforms. It could be, I think that's pretty shitty. That's messed up.
Yeah, Bungie strikes again.
It's not, oh, God, they are just, what is wrong? What happened to that freaking company, man?
Did Bungie sell Destiny off?
No. That's the only thing. That's the only thing they kept when Microsoft bought them.
Bungie was known for. I'm trying to think.
Halo.
That's right. Oh, you got another reason not to go back to Bungie.
You gotta stop hating on Halo. You gotta stop. Infinite's really good. I really think you'd like it.
Bungie.
I think it's really good. But anyway,
sounds like Sony.
Well, Sony bit us both in the ass, and we're never going to buy another Sony product, either one of us. Though for some reason lately at work, I've been getting a bunch of Sony Vaios in, which is nostalgic and stupid at the same time.
Oh God, they haven't made those in how long?
Oh, but here's something that I just remembered to tell you. I wish we check this shit out. Did you know that Walmart, especially Walmart Online, is still selling Gateway computers? New in box, bro.
Okay, so somebody bought the name and is sticking it on surplus hardware.
I don't know if that's it, but it looks like it. Yeah, they could definitely be doing that. But wow, what a toilet! I mean, it's right up there with the HP Stream.
Yeah,
it's just a complete piece of garbage.
Gateway had about a.
You see, Bob?
In my opinion, this is generous. About an 18-month window where they were probably I won't say the best thing around, but they were in the mix.
Yeah.
About an 18-month window. And then
I didn't think they were a bad computer company when they were first out at all.
yeah, well, that's what
Solid.
I'm talking about. That's the window I'm talking about. It's probably about 6 months
Wow,
after
was
they
it
hit
that
the market.
short?
Huh?
Was it that short? You might be
That
right.
they were-
It might have been that short.
That they were putting out quality product because within
Right.
2 or 3 years of them launching, they started. I mean, I don't know what if it was a change in their philosophy going to market or what, but about 2 to 3 years after they hit the scene, they were putting out garbage.
That's so weird. You're right.
I mean, they stuck around for a
remember
little
that.
while just because that's
Yeah.
what everybody was buying at the time. But their actual quality product was, I would give them about an 18, maybe 24-month window.
So speaking of the old and retro and streaming services, because we both love you and I have talked at length about how Game Pass Ultimate is brilliant.
Yeah.
Xbox Division just hit it out of the park. Steam's got their own pretty much. Nvidia's got theirs now. We've talked, and I've tested on Stick Style. We've tested the Amazon Luna, which is no different than Game Pass.
Yeah.
Just the Amazon version. I feel bad for them. It is really good. Just in a quick, Amazon Luna it's just as good as Game Pass. The problem is they literally licensed no games, like none. I think they have Dark Souls and like one other game. Oh,
Yeah.
it was Dark Souls and Phoenix Immortals Rising, which is a fun game.
It is.
And it looks really good. But Razer came out with streaming hardware. Don't you think it's a little late to be coming into that market right now? Like streaming
I mean,
software.
unless you figured out something that nobody else has figured out.
Oh,
and
of
you're
course
about
I
to-
have.
You're about to shake it up somehow. But yeah, outside of
Oh,
that,
you meant Oh, you meant somebody else. I thought you meant me.
no, Razer. If they figured something out, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they
Yeah.
got a new compression algorithm that's going to make their shit run better than everybody else's.
But
or
it's
some-
not, like-
something. I mean, but
All right, let me ask you this. When you want to get a mic, say a standalone mic, who's the players
Mhm.
out there? Who you going to buy? Who's the choices that you have?
I mean, for me, I'm going to stick with the brand that someone very generously gifted me because
Okay.
it works phenomenal.
Right, Blue Yeti
My Yeti
works
Blue.
phenomenal. The Logitech mic works phenomenal. A lot of people watch the streamers, so they'll get the Shure SMB57. There's like only a handful, but when you come to companies, a lot of companies like not really SteelSeries, but they use the headphone mics. But if you get shit, what was that ugly ass microphone I tested? Yeah, it'll come to me eventually. There's companies like Logitech, the headset that you wear, and that mic, that
Yeah.
thing sounds really good. So you
They-
could broadcast in that if you need to. And now all the
They're-
newer,
Yeah, I mean, they Logitech's been in the game for a long time. They're established. They're not going anywhere. Are they going to put out the highest quality, studio level, get rich hardware that you need for professional blah blah blah?
no, and
But-
I should really do a sideshow, not a sideshow, but like an episode on just the audio landscape. So the rule of thumb that I feel is that anything below what?
You made a prediction earlier. I'm going to make one.
What?
When we do the audio expose episode, we're going to have problems. I don't know if that's a prediction.
That is so 100% true. That's exactly what it's going to happen. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So,
I mean, it may be something like so random, like windows open and a blue jay flies by and craps on a piece of equipment and shorts
Right.
it out. But we'll have audio problems.
we'll have something. Something will happen. So sub 250, all your microphones sound the same. Whether it's the name that escaped me before was Hyper. Their Hyper Logitech Elgato is another person in this thing. Anything under $250, I don't care if it's a Blue Yeti, a Snowball, whatever it is. It's all going to sound the same. It's all about how you make your voice sound later. My mic is a Shure 55 Custom, which is very old. I love this mic. It's the first mic I ever really used, and it's just something for me. But this mic raw doesn't sound that great. I have to do some things like compression and stuff. So sub 250 is where you want to be. And I don't think when you have people that are just buying the same shit that their streamer friends are using, or what they can get your local big box store, the Logitech, the HyperX, the Razer. I think it's a little late to come to the game. Now, Razer had a mic, which was nice, and they had a camera, which is okay. I got it for the wife's rig.
Yeah.
And it's nice because it has a light on it, which is really nice, and it looks good. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Razer products, and I want to go on record as saying that it's not that they don't make good products. Their Razer Blades are pretty decent laptops. They're a good company.
Yeah.
But
I would say that they are a. This is going to sound like a contradiction in terms, but a high quality, inexpensive player.
Who, Razer?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what?
What they're at the level that they're putting out, at the price points that they're putting out a high quality product for that price point, but it's still at a lower, it's still at a lower end as far as specs and hardware and all that kind of stuff.
Well, let me throw this at you. Is it because they make good products, but because of the way they present themselves as a very gamer and hip and young person company, do you think that's what their problem? Because I think that's what their problem is that they're really trying to appeal to the teenagers consistently, and you don't. You build quality hardware, and the people will come to it because the pros or the semi-pros like us are going to know what quality is, and we're going to go to that quality.
Yeah, it could be. They could be kind of stuck with how they've come to market, and they need to.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, that's possible.
Yeah, I would agree.
They're trying to get, and of course, maybe they're thinking, maybe they're going with the long game. We get everybody in their teens and early 20s buying something with our name on it, and then as they get older, they have more income, they have more money. We've got that brand loyalty. We start introducing higher end, more expensive.
And those that have watched the show before know that FreeMo and I, we've talked at length about how we were Sony people. Same exact thing this FreeMo's explaining right now. We were Sony people, and then Sony went down this path that it was a bad idea on multiple levels, and the product started to really suck.
Yeah.
And we were like out of there. And I think if what?
Easily 30 years ago, if I was going to buy electronics.
Yeah, 100%.
Sony.
Yep.
TV, whatever, phone, Sony phones back in the day, laptops, all of it. Yeah. PlayStation. I had PlayStation
stereo
before
equipment,
I had Xbox,
headphones, Walkman, stereo equipment, VCRs, DVDs. They were first on the market with the S Video.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. We both watched it. And I think looking back now, what was it? Changed from like 480 interlaced to 480 progressive. But we bought it, put the tape in, and went, oh, this is we're never going to get better than this, man. This is like lifelike. Watching on a 27-inch XBR2 that cost us like $1,500 even back then, which was insane. That's a decent TV now. Back then, I should have been able to get like a car. And I bought an XBR2. And we're looking at this thing on a VHS tape going, oh, dude, are we ever going to get... That was 480p, bro.
Yeah.
We're at 8K, technically. There's a couple of 8K things, but like Apple's studio monitor we talked about earlier in the show, that studio monitor is 5K. Yeah, 5K. Which is... Again, I have two of those older monitors from Apple. 10 years old. Those things still are 1080p and they still look phenomenal. But back to this thing about Razer. I think it's a little late to come into this game. Now, I am a Corsair guy. I'm a Corsair Elgato guy. I just always will. I think they make really, really good quality products. Like, really good. Now, they are hit or miss. Huh? Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Their customer service needs a little bit of work. A little bit of work on the customer service, but that's with a lot of new companies. We're recording this on a face cam. I'm using Elgato key lights. So the Elgato key lights are really cool. They're about $200 or so. They're like semi-pro. They work off your Wi-Fi, which is kind of annoying. And then downstairs in the stick style rig, we have the Elgato Mini, which is really cool. That thing will run on battery. It will adapt. I haven't done the review yet, so I'm kind of like bursting it here. But you can put it on it's got a standardized universal mount, so you can put it on pretty much anything. It's really well done, and it's just enough what you need if you put it right in your face to record a quick video and have good lighting. I think Razer came out with their key light, and they announced it. And I think this is, and you're going to see why in a second, Free. So Razer's key light is essentially the Elgato key light. It really is. The difference being is that Elgato stuck to brightness and warmth. That's all you really fucking need. This is a light, people. It's a fucking light. It's there to light your ass up. You know, you can decide how you want to do the color. Not the color, but the warmth.
Speaking of, how's my lighting today?
Outside of the strips that come down every once in a while because of your blinds.
Because I'm moving.
And you see it, yeah. But it's good. Lighting's.
I'm 100% natural. I got like no lights. I just realized you said that, and I've got like no lights on in here.
So FreeMo's like, look, nobody's going to be perfect, and you can do the best you can, even if you're a pro when it comes to a podcast or a stream. But FreeMo's light is really good because it snowed where he lives. The windows are open. You can see through the windows. That's natural light, and then he has white walls, which also reflect the light, and it just gives a good tone. When you have something like me, where I'm in a basement, essentially.
And apparently, I'm easy on the eyes. So
you are easy on the eyes, Free. Especially when you let your hair down, you bitch.
What? You mean this hair?
Oh, stop! I just, you know
At
what?
least I got some.
Oh, fuck you! I have a great head of hair. I need a haircut, but it's a great head of hair. I'm lucky as fuck. Everything else went to shit, but my hair's great.
You really can't tell those are plugs. At least not over.
Oh, fuck off! Those are not plugs. I don't have plugs, you douche. That's a clip right there for the after show. What an asshat. But the lighting I use,
that's what you pay me for. The jokes. I got to get some in.
The lighting I have is adequate for what I need it to be. The key light that they're doing is essentially the same thing, same size, dimensions, etc., as the Elgato key light, except with Razers you can do RGB. Who's in the background to your house? Now would be not a good time.
Yeah, the longer you stand there, the longer you're in frame.
That is fucking awesome. When your wife or significant other, was that your wife?
Yeah.
When your wife comes through with a towel going, "Hey, you recording?" Thank you very much. That's going to be a big bonus. I'm going to get some views and fucking likes off of that.
Oh. This could be my last show, folks.
So it's the same size and everything. But one of the cool things that it did add, I think the RGB thing is stupid. I guess for mood lighting, you might want to change the color, but for recording and streaming, no. The job of a key light is exactly what it's supposed to be, is a key light. It's hitting those key features.
Right.
That's what you got to do.
I think we might be showing our age a little bit here on that one.
Why?
Because apparently the younger generations love to put these RGB lights on.
Oh, whatever. I have RGB. My fucking rig bleeds RGB. You know,
No,
that's
I'm
awesome.
serious. Like if someone made a strand of RGB lights for your electric toothbrush, they have it.
I'd buy it.
Don't know why you would need that, but they would buy it.
I'd buy it.
Sorry, I had to go move a curtain. Sun's
There you go.
shifted enough that it was starting to catch me in the eye.
Right. Now, for those that are watching on video, FreeMo's camera exposure just compensated for him shutting that blind. So his light is still good. His face is a little duller. But that's because he's dumb as fuck. No, I'm kidding. Oh.
I gotta be. I've been doing this show with you how long?
You've been doing the show a little while. Couple 10 years. But I think their key light, the thing that really intrigued me, though, not just the RGB, I think that's stupid, but it does react, which is kind of cool, but I think that would wear off. It reacts to your stream. So like the HyperX, like where you can, if you get a subscriber or a donation or anything like that, it pops up, or you can show certain pictures. Your key light will actually glow, or you can determine what color you want it to blink or whatever else. I think that's great. I think that has a great interactive feature, because interaction on streams is really a popular thing. I personally don't want Stick Style to do that, because Stick Style is about us Gen Xers gaming, period, and having a good time. So I don't need to have 1,500 things. They just released on Streamlabs rather. They released internal games, so you can do like whatever that light was you turned off, turn it back on. The Streamlabs just announced that you can actually inbred, I guess you could say, is you could put in the tic-tac-toe or a little mini game that they could play while you're watching a stream. You're watching a stream. That's the whole point of watching the stream. If I'm on chat only, great. If not, it's a stream. I think people are missing what a stream is about. And with Razer's launch into the streaming, I mean, $300 free. I think that's Elgato's was like $250, which is not cheap, but I think it's very well done. And Razer's, again, you add that stream feature. If you're into that, I think that's money. But $300 for a key light, I had a hard time making $250.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if you got enough subscribers, enough followers, you're making enough ad revenue, it makes sense.
Sure.
But
and we don't, but I do it for the love, and we know that. But I can tell you that, with all honesty, that as a business, as Fenix Media Group, yeah, that's one of those business write-offs, 100%, because that's not one you're like, I don't need to keep the receipt. It's a stream deck. It's $100. I would want it anyway. But like the key lights, it's like, no, they're down here. They're not anywhere else in my house. They're not on Stick Style. They're just here.
Yeah.
And because that's what they're for. And the other thing that Razer released that I thought was hilarious was their audio mixer. So if you could look at the stream free, or you could pull up a link at Razer and look at their audio, audio mixer, this is pretty much an exact ripoff of Go XLR. And I don't know how Telecom has not filed a lawsuit yet. If you like Razer products, I would strongly suggest you spend the $250 and go buy this product right now, because it will be pulled eventually. Telecom, I can't see how Telecom could not file a lawsuit. This is exactly the same thing as a Go XLR. I mean, I can't even tell you what the differences might be.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at a picture of it, and if you just said, what is that? I would have said a Go XLR.
Yeah. It's so pull up a Go XLR Mini right next to it.
Okay, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, right? It's the same friggin' product. And when I say it's the same, it's the fucking same product. There is no bells and whistles that Razer added. I can't see how that Helicon,
I mean that color looks a little bit different on the button.
which is adjustable. So I can't see how Helicon did not file a patent for that shape and style and size. I can't see how they didn't do that. And if you didn't, you guys are fools because you definitely don't have a big enough user base compared to Razer. You don't. And you just shot yourself in the foot.
I mean the bottom two buttons on the Razer are a little bit wider.
Yeah. Is this going to be like?
there's
Is this
not
going to be
a
like?
whole lot of difference here.
So basically, what FreeMo's talking about is that if you ever pull up a Go XLR Mini, Razer added the mute and kinda. They added the same two buttons that they have at the bottom of their Go XLR Mini are widened on the Razer. This is the similarity that they'll do in court as to Vanilla Ice telling Queen that, well, I did bum 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 bum. That's the same thing. That I added an extra beat. And you can get the Go XLR Mini for $220, and frankly, it's a better product. The interface is nice on the Razer, but on the Go XLR, if you're going to get a Go XLR because you find that you need it, and I cannot stress this enough when it comes to streaming, don't buy shit you don't need. Don't buy it because you saw Stickstyle use it, or BGFG use it, or Dr. Disrespect use it, or Shroud use it. Buy it because it's something that you need. If you don't need a Wave XLR, don't go buy an XLR mic just so you can buy the Wave XLR, or vice versa. If your mic's working fine and you just don't know how to tune your voice, don't go buy a new mic. That's just dumb. It's just dumb.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's the same thing with PCs. Maybe you need to upgrade your PC, Free.
The XLR Mini channels are actually labeled.
Yeah.
The Razer says channel 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Right. On the Mini and on the full Go XLR.
The microphone headset plug in the front. I mean,
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And I have right in the back of the studio.
XLR looks a little sleeker. It's got a little more. It's not quite as chunky looking, but
I have the Go XLR and the Go XLR Mini, and I can tell you that we use that on BGFG until Elgato came out with the XLR, Wave XLR. We were using Go XLR, and it's a beast. You need to spend time with it, but that's one of those products that if you know how to use it, I do. If you know how to use it and use it properly, that is all you need. Basically, when you're streaming, you swap your keyboard for that, and that's all you need. You can do sound effects, you can do everything on that and have a great time. And RGB if you want. But maybe you want to upgrade your PC as well. I found a great upgrade, Free.
Yeah.
The Seagate. So I'm a huge Star Wars fan, as you know, and Mandalorian has Beskar, the Mandalorian armor is Beskar, and I recently acquired a slab of Beskar. It's fake, of course, but it looks like the Beskar that they had in the movie, and it's heavy. It's like iron.
Okay, why am I not seeing this on video?
What do you mean? I don't have it with me. It's upstairs in a cabinet because it's Beskar. But if you go to Seagate's website, you'll see that they now have released a drive that looks like a slab of Beskar. And what's cool is that the Beskar slab is about the size of a 2.5 SATA drive, right?
Yeah.
And you can get not only the 2.5 SATA and an external hard drive, which is the standard size, but you can also get an M.2 that's colored the same way as a piece of Beskar. Really cool. It's 500 gigabytes and 1 terabyte M.2. You're looking at about $160 for the 500 gigabyte, and the 1 terabyte M.2 will be about $260. So you're basically paying about $10 above MSRP. Oh, you saw it.
Sweet looking.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is like I want to buy that. I don't need an M.2, but I want to buy an M.2 just because that's there. That is so cool.
That's nice.
So I've been playing some Turismo GT on PlayStation. I've been playing some Turismo GT. It's damn good. It's everything everybody expected. But what I found myself playing the most of right now, Free, was WWE 2K22.
Oh yeah.
It is so freaking good. What a great game. Looks phenomenal. Plenty of shit to do if you're a wrestling fan. It plays well once you get used to the controls. It's not a button mashing game, not even a little. And it's just you take your time with it and you just have a really good time. It's really fun. Really fun. But I'll be doing more of a review, I guess you could say, on Stick Style, which would be great. Now, let's get into the last segment, which is For What It's Worth.
I'm seeing if one of my work vendors has that test card available yet. So I will order it and work and pay for it.
I'm going to order it. All right, let's get into For What It's Worth. I'm going to run upstairs and go to the bathroom, but I want you to start talking, and that doesn't mean sitting there quietly. Start talking about what you want to get off your chest this week, and it better not be about me, you bastard.
Are you streaming live right now? And are you going to be watching it on your phone?
No, I'm not going to be watching it on my phone. I'm going to the bathroom.
Good. Okay, folks. When
you know what? I'm going to keep my fucking headset on. I'm going to keep my headset on, you bitch.
See, for what it's worth, what topic do I not need to cover because it will get Phoenix a bunch of hate mail? Okay, folks, now that he's gone, let's get real about Apple. Oh, I figured he'd come back into frame on that one. Oh. All I can say, folks, is what we're looking at right now in the world. I know we come across as maybe being flippant and not caring, not addressing any of the big issues, but that's kind of the whole point of what we're doing here. Trying to maintain a little levity and sanity. But he told me to get something off my chest. So here we go. Why is inflation continuing to spiral out of control? I just want a real answer. It's not Russia, folks. It was going up well before all this stuff happened in the Ukraine. So somebody please give me an answer, because they are going to kill and crush the middle class in America like they have never done before. We're looking at another Great Depression at the rate we're going. I saw a stat this week that over 60% of households in this country live paycheck to paycheck. And that just is astounding to me. That's not a good place for us to be in. But other than that, I got nothing to get off my chest except that I'm still wearing this thing and I can't hold a controller effectively. I tried to game some last night and I had to stop and put it away before I threw the controller through the TV, because I don't mind losing, but I can't stand not playing well. And that's exactly where I'm at right now. So I may have to try something different than first-person shooters. I may have to try some driving game tonight. See how that goes down. But yeah, that's it, folks. Inflation. Someone please explain it to me. And what really gets me is all of these companies that are trying to act like it's not going on. They're selling you the same $5 package of whatever. But then once you get it home, you realize it's 4 ounces less than it used to be. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for letting me go to the bathroom free. I'm sure you kept everybody entertained. I was able to hear you. And I agree with you with the inflation. And
I don't get it. I don't get it. And yeah, that's where I was just getting to is, you go and you buy that $5 item, and you're like, oh, great, it's still $5 even after all this, and then you realize that what used to be a 12-ounce package is now an 8-ounce package.
Right. Right.
Same size box or container, but what's inside of it's less. You know? And that to me, that's
chips are the worst.
What's that called? Advertise one thing and give
false
them something
advertising.
else.
False advertising.
Like clickbait almost.
Well, okay, clickbait, false advertising. Your choice.
I would rather you change the price on what I've been getting and make it more expensive so I realize what's happening, or sell me the lower quantity at a different price.
Yeah.
Or sell me the lower quantity at the price I'm used to paying, but make it obvious that you're giving me less,
But I don't think we're going to see that. I don't think we're going to see that. It's the inflation problem is so many different problems all rolled into one. And the fact that they're blaming Russia on it, again, I'm not a Russian sympathizer. What he's doing is wrong, but don't blame every fucking problem. It's misdirection.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when you see national news media talking about all the exports of Ukraine. What exports? Ukraine. Unless you spend all your time on Pornhub.
I do need to see, and maybe someone else has already done this, but I need to see if there's any mercenary companies hiring and getting people over to the Ukraine.
That screams.
I'm just saying. I mean, we were on the tail end of the Cold War, but we grew up in it. We had those fears.
Yeah,
we all want to kill some commies.
Look, I said this 100 times on this show. You've said it 100 times. The worst thing that any other country could ever do is invade us through the south. That's just a bad idea. You got a better chance of invading our country through the north. I probably shouldn't be letting this out, but we're cold. We're cold, locked in people. Okay, you can get us house to house. Down south, they got guns everywhere, and they ain't afraid to fight.
Actually, right now, if you just approached us and said, "Hey, we want to take this piece. Are y'all cool with that? We'll leave you alone." We'd probably be like, "Okay."
If we leave you, we're just gonna set up base right here. That's it.
Yeah, we'll take everything north of here and west of there if y'all are cool with that.
Yeah, but you're definitely right about the economy. It's weird. People don't want to work, but then at the same time, people that do want to work, but they just want to make a decent salary. And there's no living wage for the middle class right now. The middle class, as always, Gen Xers, middle class will suffer. Always.
Yeah. We're actively, it almost seems like actively working to break the middle class.
Yeah.
Make us give up hope because we're the last thing standing in the way of the master plan. And I know that sounds all conspiracy theory, whatever, but I mean, I don't know any other way to interpret it at this point.
You're not wrong. We've talked about that again. We've teased Zootopia Null so often that it's not. And look, we're not sitting there like Giorgio on Ancient Aliens. We're not sitting there like Alex Jones. We're just telling you what we see as middle class people. The same thing that everybody else in the middle class is seeing. We are living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of us are. 60% is probably an underrated number. I would say it was more like 75% that are living a paycheck to paycheck. And let me tell you, throughout 12 months of a year, there is several months that I am living paycheck to paycheck. And then you might get a little headway right there. But that might be enough. Shit, you go to the dealership and you're going to spend money on 4 new tires. That might be you're going back to paycheck.
Yeah, for another couple months till you get it squared
or
away
a fridge, or a boiler, or a roof, or you're taking a loan, but you're also living paycheck to paycheck for quite a while. It takes some time and it takes some work. And I don't give a shit what job you're at. And there's all sorts of arguments for that. There is living beyond your means. There is change your job, change your career. Well, that's all well and good. Let me tell you, the bottom line is a lot of us actually like what we do. We've gotten to a place at our age, the Gen Xers, that we like what we do, or at least comfortable with what we do. If we're comfortable with what we do, then leave us the fuck alone. Let us do what we do and do it well. And hey, Waynette, how you doing, girl?
Phoenix just said, hey.
You look beautiful.
He said, you look beautiful. She laughed and said, thank you.
Brownie points, baby.
Yeah, send them my way. I could use them.
That's because you're a douchebag.
I don't remember ever claiming to be anything but.
Agreed. But the point that I was trying to get to was that middle class is living paycheck to paycheck. And a lot of that is because it's not a living wage. I agree. I would say 50% of it is living beyond your means. You had one job or you got...
Yeah, there's a lot of that, and there's no doubt about it. And that got exposed with the COVID.
Yep. 100%.
People,
100%.
People not going into work, didn't have that second income, this, that, and the other, whatever. But that exposed a lot of the over consumerism that our society deals with.
Make no mistake. My wife and I sat down at the dinner table that night and just was like, are we okay?
Yeah.
We discussed it and we were like, yeah, we got to cut down here, here, and here. And you just have to have that. You have to have that talk.
As a responsible adult, that's what you do. A lot of people don't feel responsible, I guess. I don't know. They're looking
right.
They're looking for that next COVID relief check to come, which they ain't doing no more of them, folks.
Yep. Well, there's also the unemployment.
We got all those was because it was an election cycle. We wouldn't have seen half of what we saw if there hadn't been an election cycle involved.
Well, there's also the unemployment too. So unemployment benefits are starting to wear out and wear thin. And that what the younger people, or I should say the dumb people, it's just the easiest way to say it, or the uneducated people is maybe what I should say. They don't realize that this is a toll. All those checks that we got during COVID, all of those checks were for a reason, and you were supposed to be responsible with it. I saw you all at my work buying 80-inch TVs. Don't fucking lie. You bought that home theater setup you always wanted. You didn't try to better yourself or put that money in the bank for your rent or anything. You did what you did. Own up to that and move on. But those of us that are in the middle class that are living paycheck to paycheck, or right above or right below, however you want to look at it, paycheck to paycheck, this is a tough time. I just filled up my truck free. Like, there's a good thing in my truck. So I've had people go, look at you, you're balling. They're like, look at you, you're balling. Well, it's a 2007. It's just that I kept it well maintained. And I paid for a shitty-ass paint job just to touch up all the shit. So don't tell me about your horror stories. You're driving around a 2019 Lexus or whatever the fuck it is because you finally got your dream car. But you can't afford your dream car.
I'm driving an early 2000 Honda right now because of the gas price.
Yeah.
I can fill it up and I can run all week on one tank.
Lucky you. I got next week I got my mini vacation, so I decided to fill up my gas tank today instead of trying to make it last a little bit longer. And I drove around, bombed around a little bit past couple of days, and just to get that tank lower, $90, bro, to get that tank filled. $90. That's a lot of fucking money.
It is.
And if you don't think it is, and you're driving around in your car right now, look down at your gas tank and just think to yourself, how much does it cost to fill this up? And then I want you to go, it's $90. I make $15 an hour. Do the math, man. Those shitty customers you had, or that shitty time you had at a meeting or whatever, that was your price of going out or filling up your tank of gas.
Yeah.
That's how you budget. You think about shit like that.
The last time gas got into the mid-3 range a few years back, I was driving a Suburban, and I remember that $110 fill up.
Fucking Suburban. Oh, that fucking Suburban. That thing went through some hell.
Yeah, it did. Hit a couple of trees before it was over with.
Amen. Yeah, my Expedition was like that. We were talking about that at the same time. My Expedition was just like that. It would run through anything. When I got that thing, when I gave that thing up, it was 2 cylinders were down, and one of those cylinders bursted through
Yeah.
the side of the block. I was still driving it. Well, when it burst through the block, I had to finally give it up. But your Suburban was
you
like,
lose a little bit of power at that point.
I couldn't get home on the highway. But your Suburban was equally like just a tank, just a go-to. Like, oh, it's like up here. Oh, it's -15. Not a problem. Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll have
I'll
the
be
truck
there.
nice and warm. Yeah. So my Yukon filling up for $90, man, that hurts.
It
You know?
does.
And
It
that's
does.
the
I
way
mean-
inflation works. It's going to suck, but again, I can sit here and be like all the other people and start, bashing my chest and being like, you need to do this, you need to do that. It sucks right now. We need a fix. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, vote for this one, vote for that one.
No, the only thing I would say is you need to take care of your own budget first.
Right.
Get
Cut
that
out
in
some
check.
shit.
Find a way to get your household squared away, because if you're waiting for someone else to fix this problem for you, you're going to end up in an even worse situation.
Yeah, because it's going to take years. Even if there was a solution tomorrow, it's going to take years. Just like it's going to take years for FreeMo to ever play a video game again with his gimpy ass hand. I heard that shit too.
Maybe another month.
A racing game? Are you out of your fucking mind? You ain't going to play a racing game with that gimp ass hand. You're going to get more pissed off than you were at the shooters.
No, I can use the thumb for the steering. And then use the e-brake to slow down. I just won't be able to finesse the brake.
Sounds like a demolition game for you, buddy.
I'll just punch up some grid.
Yeah, there you go. If I might make a suggestion.
The figure eight with the stock cars.
If I might make a suggestion. Wreckfest.
Okay.
Literally what it sounds like. It pretty much looks like the Grid engine, in my opinion. And then, or it looks like Grid, but it's pure demolition. And your start off point is with lawn tractors. Demolition with lawn tractors.
Why am I just now hearing about this?
I don't know. I never got a chance to
Is it on
mention it
Game
to you.
Pass?
I don't know. I know they released it on multiple platforms not too long ago. It used to be just on Steam.
Let's take a look at the interwebs.
So, do you have anything else this week?
No, I do not have anything else.
Well, then I'm going to end the show because my daughter needs to bring the baby down here, and it's almost dinner time, which is
awesome.
The best time.
Yeah, it is getting on around dinner time, isn't it?
But that was fun. So that's it for this week. Tense down. Show's over.
Whoop, whoop.
So you can find more of this garbage at bgfgonline.com. You can also send us an email with your questions or suggestions at bgfgshow@gmail.com. Find our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Overcast, Podcast, Castro, Castbox, Podchaser, and YouTube. Thank you for listening.
Show's over. Stream's still on.
That's cool.
So what are you looking at?
I was pulling up to see if Game Pass was on there, or Wreckfest was on Game Pass. It looks like it is.
Is it? Oh, there's your one thumb right there. Yeah, I'll turn my phone back over to non-silent so I can get that message of, dude. Best game ever. It is fucking stupid fun.
Well, it's on PC Game Pass. I don't know if it's on console.
PC Game Pass should work for you. Well, the controllers are Bluetooth now. Old man. What the hell package I've delivered? What the hell is it? Oh, my wife. All right, man. I want to go grab some grub.
Okay.
Let me know. Let me know if you grab that Wreckfest.
Yeah, it's for Xbox One, so I'm gonna see if it's on there.
Nice, dude.
All right,
You'll
man.
like it.
We'll holler at you.
All right, later.